Hi, this is just a quick video on some tips for Qgis, so I remember them in the future. The first one was that if you're wanting to edit an entity on a layer, you always have to make sure that you toggle its layer to be editing mode first, and then go up and use the selection tools to select it. Otherwise, if you're not toggled into editing mode, which is represented by this pencil, you won't be able to select the entities. There's various ways to select entities. That's just a single click, and then there's a polygon selection. Just go around and then right click to end, and then you can see they're all yellow now. And then at the end, we'll normally ask you to exit the editing and exit that mode. And for some reason, it doesn't select it when you exit, but I found if you just click this one here, deselect layers, deselects them. The next tip I had down on my list was about filtering objects. So if you want to filter objects on a layer, you can come in here and go layer filter. Then say you want to filter by the owner, double click on here, say equals to, and you're not quite sure what the data is, you press sample, and so you've got those two items to select from in there. So then you just can just double click on that. There you go. That's done, and that's the string that we'll use to filter. And there we go, the filter's applied, and now it's only got all the layers on the sewer main that have been assigned to the odor QLDC. Now you might want to do a bit more advanced filtering, and you might want to filter all the layers at once to find everything that's just private or pending or something like that. So first of all, you could come into here and remove or copy your filter string first, and then you see it's cancelled it, and now there's not filtered out at all. And then what you need to do is add a add-in, which you basically go to plugins, manage and install, and then search for the add-in. And in this case, I've added this add-in here, which is called batch or multi-filter. So basically, you select in the layers you want to filter, so you could select every single one. Then you paste your filter string or type your filter string here, and you just press filter, and it copies that same text string onto all those layers and applies the filter. So then it's got highlighting just all the layers now that are still marked as pending. And then to clear all the filters from all the layers, you just press clear. And that's it. Right, this tip now is about how to repath the location of your data if you move your file and it breaks the link. So normally you get the warning symbol next to these objects, to a little warning triangle to say that it can't find the data anymore, or you get it prompted when you open the project that you can't find the data. Again, you need to install a tool again through the plugins, manage plugins. This time it's just represented by this icon here, and it's called change data source. And so basically this is just a file path find and replace, so you can find the old file path or part of it and then replace it with the new path, and it will just go through and do it for every layer that you select. And that's it, pretty easy. Okay, the next tip is about how to share, or how to save, multiple shape files for each individual layer in one go rather than exporting them. And again, it's another plugin represented by this save icon here. So just a reminder, you go to plugins, manage, install plugins, search for it, and this one's called batch save vector layers. And basically select all the layers in blue that you want to export as shapefiles, and then select the format, shapefile, and then select the destination file where you want it to save all those shapefiles to, and press OK, and that's it done. All your shapefile for each individual layer will be written out to that folder. That's it. Okay, the next tip is about connecting up to the cloud server if you want to publish to the web on a free server. And this, I'm using the Qgis system, which is a server in Singapore that lets you save up to 5 gigabytes of data for free. So I normally just set up a project for a job, and then basically again you install the plugin by going plugins, install plugins. It's just going to the server, next Qgis, and you can see it's installed here. Connect, and you'll take note of this little icon that gives you a tip about what tool icon it's going to be. When it's installed, and when you press that icon, it will bring up the box down here on the right hand side, and to set up the connection to your server or your account on your server, you just come in here and go through setting up connections, putting in your log information and the server address. And once that's done, basically you can press the publish, and it will publish everything that you see in Qgis to the web server in Singapore, and then people can be sent a link of that web map. And I'll just drag in my screen, my web browser off my other monitor, and this is the web map here. The text is quite big to start with, but once you zoom in and it catches up, it reduces the text down to a more readable size, and there you go, you can see all the information at this stage just overlaid over an OpenStreetMap map. And you can do various things, select objects, and it will show you all the data that's in the Council GIS system. Going back to the layers, one of the beauties of this system is you can click on this tab here, bring up the feature table, and that's basically all the fields that are in the table. And there's the save as, and there's export. You can export all sorts of file formats. So basically you can point people in the direction here to see the data and download the data for your project. Okay, this tip is about importing shapefiles into Google Earth, because I've one particular client that likes to use Google Earth as his main data store of information. So basically, file import, and you can change the file to a shapefile here, and then it will bring in the shapefile data with graphics data plus the information attached to it. And then if you want to style it up to look like, in this case, a stormwater network with some manholes and some square sumps, you can just go into properties, style, assign the color here, change the symbol by going into here. And there we have it. You've got our cheapo GIS system, and normally you can click on bring up the information as well. Not quite sure, but it has worked. I'm not an expert on driving Google Earth, but yeah, you can click it and it'll just bring up the dialog box of all the information. And that's it.